let's go to the Chicago Bears, Colin. Now listen, this is going to be a tough one. I know let's start with the positive. Okay, they're 9-3, number 1 seed in the NFC. They're in your backyard. You and Ben Johnson are probably going out for meals this time of week. But maybe you'll be shirtless like Ben. However, Caleb Williams, his goal was to complete 70% of his passes. He's not anywhere close to that. Ben Johnson said the streak happened in spite of the offense. Here we go.
Everybody's got a role to play to get this pass game cleaned up. It's not where it needs to be. We're winning in spite of our passing game, not because of it, and none of us are pleased with that right now.
Now, this is a stat that's going around the interwebs today. According to quarterbacks who have started more than 7 games this year, Caleb Williams is dead last in the NFL in completion percentage. Dead last, 58%. That's below Cam Ward. That's below Dylan Gabriel.
It's clearly an issue. Like you have to acknowledge the good stuff, but he is not accurate enough. Listen, he's got much better weapons, and I would argue a better O-line and a run game than Drake May. Drake May is completing 71%. Patriots can't run it. O-line had 2 starters missing left side. Don't have a number 1. Diggs is more a number 2 now. And he's completing the highest rate in the league. I'm not asking you to be that. You got to get to 62 or 63%. You got to get up. 58 is a backup quarterback and not a great backup.
I'm looking at someone like Bo Nix is at 61, right?
That's not good enough.
So, I would totally agree. So here's my question. Can Caleb make the leap? Remember Josh Allen the first couple years in Buffalo, everybody uses this example.
I think he can get
57%.
I think he can get better, but the knock I heard from the GMs who liked him, he's erratic throwing the ball. He's like a streak shooter in basketball. Those from the people that liked him. The ones that didn't like him said, little moody, a little bit of an ego, don't like his accuracy. The ones that liked him noted his lack of consistent accuracy.
All right. Let's delve into this topic. I must admit, I feel a significant sense of validation at this moment. My consistent position throughout this season has been that the offensive ceiling of this Chicago Bears team has been somewhat constrained by the performance of Caleb Williams, that his play has been a limiting factor. I have also consistently defended the notion that this is perfectly acceptable, contextualizing it as his inaugural season within Ben Johnson's system, following the organizational disarray of the previous year. I even found myself in a position of defending against an overly broad critique regarding his accuracy, arguing that it was an unfair characterization, while still maintaining it was reasonable to acknowledge that Williams was not currently performing at an elite level. The point has always been to foster a complete and nuanced conversation, rather than resorting to absolutist declarations of him being inherently bad or that the situation just won't work. This nuanced stance created a fascinating dynamic. When another analyst pivoted from premature dismissal to declaring Williams amazing, I felt compelled to push back, suggesting that this, too, wasn't the full picture. This middle ground approach led to criticism from a vocal segment of the Bears fan base, who accused me of downplaying his success, of wanting to see him fail, or of being a hater. The irony is palpable, as I was frequently labeled a Caleb apologist throughout the previous season for defending him against various unfounded criticisms. My objective has never been blind homerism or relentless negativity. I strive for honest, balanced evaluation, refusing to speak only positives into existence simply because I believe in a player's long-term potential or wish for his success. I maintained this perspective as the season progressed, even as the team accumulated wins, and was frequently met with assertions that I was wrong. Now, the team's own head coach, a man widely regarded as an offensive super genius who has guided this squad to the NFC's top seed, has publicly articulated a sentiment that echoes my analysis. If you are of the belief that my assessment is uninformed or incorrect, you are, by extension, suggesting that the architect of this successful season also doesn't comprehend his own team's dynamics. This is a striking revelation. This is not to assert that every issue within the passing game rests solely on Williams' shoulders. Other variables are undoubtedly in play. However, he remains a central part of the problem. As I stated during their winning streak, Williams was not performing at a great level, which, again, I consider okay given the context, but that the offense was leaving at least a touchdown, if not more, on the field each week due to plays he simply wasn't making. This invariably leads to the invocation of Josh Allen as a comparative reference point, a comparison I believe requires immediate and careful debunking. Josh Allen demonstrably improved his accuracy over time through mechanical refinement and dedicated work, as have other quarterbacks like Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold. I reference this when faced with the claim that Williams' accuracy would never improve, arguing that such a definitive prediction was inherently unfair. The subsequent argument that completion percentage and accuracy don't really matter that much is, in my view, an equally untenable overcorrection. The Josh Allen comparison falters on several key fronts. First, Allen entered a franchise in a state of profound dysfunction, armed with a raw, unparalleled physical toolkit. The throws he missed early in his career were often high-degree of difficulty attempts. Heaves downfield while on the move, reckless jumps into pressure, attempts to force the ball into impossible windows. He played with a Madden on rookie abandon, testing the absolute limits of his arm and athleticism on nearly every snap. This is categorically not what Caleb Williams is doing. The passes Williams is missing are not these spectacular, high-risk attempts. He is operating largely within the structure of the offense. He is not consistently scrambling to extend plays only to chuck it deep as a last resort. The nature of their inaccuracy is fundamentally different. Secondly, and critically, the statistical profiles diverge sharply. Caleb Williams' current average depth of target hovers around 9 yards. During Josh Allen's rookie season, when his completion percentage was at its lowest, his average depth of target was approximately 12 to 13 yards. This disparity is not minor. It is monumental within the context of NFL passing metrics. A difference of 3 to 4 yards in average target depth represents a seismic shift in offensive philosophy and quarterback responsibility, directly impacting completion probability. To contextualize, it's analogous to the chasm between a running back averaging 4.0 yards per carry, a star, and one averaging 3.0 yards per carry, a liability. The impact is profound. Allen's early inaccuracy was the price paid for an aggressive, downfield attacking style, a style he still incorporates, which arguably keeps his completion percentage from being even higher today. Williams' accuracy issues are not stemming from this type of aggressive, going-for-broke mentality. This distinction is, to me, glaringly obvious and virtually indisputable. Further evidence lies in advanced metrics. Caleb Williams currently ranks at or near the very bottom of the league in the percentage of his throws classified as being into tight windows. I am not a proponent of using a high, aggressive throw percentage as a singular badge of honor. Many backup or struggling young quarterbacks post high numbers in this category precisely because they are forcing the ball into coverage. Notably, elite, efficient quarterbacks like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes often reside on the lower end of this spectrum. However, the fact that Williams' rate is so low reinforces the point. He is not regularly attempting high-difficulty, contested throws. Josh Allen's tight window rate during his low-accuracy rookie year was nearly 50% higher than Williams' current mark. This, again, represents a massive, consequential difference in their respective styles and the root causes of their completion percentage struggles. Improvement in this area is not a matter of magical overnight development. It requires meticulous work with quarterback coaches, both within the Bears organization and potentially with private trainers during the offseason, a standard and acceptable practice for NFL signal callers. My overarching point regarding this Bears team has been precisely this. If Caleb Williams can evolve to a point of consistent, good play within this scheme, the offensive output could become truly explosive, potentially averaging well over 30 points per game. They are not there yet. Ben Johnson's candid admission, "We're winning in spite of our passing game, not because of it," is a powerful and validating confirmation of this assessment. I am genuinely gratified he articulated it, as it alleviates some of the unwarranted criticism I received from the most vocal segments of the Chicago fan base. The majority likely understood the nuance, but the loudest voices in the comment section often pushed a different narrative. Even when I lavished praise on the coaching staff, the schematic brilliance of Ben Johnson, and the dominant rushing attack following the Eagles' victory, some still insisted I wasn't giving Williams enough credit. Well, now it appears their head coach isn't giving him that particular credit either. I was pleased to encounter this clip, having anticipated it would spark a major discussion on other platforms. When it didn't, I felt compelled to unpack it here. I must re-emphasize, it is perfectly acceptable that Caleb Williams is struggling in this specific regard. It is reasonable to expect improvement, and it is equally necessary to state that improvement must occur. However, one cannot simply wave away the issue by claiming it will inevitably get better and is therefore nothing to worry about. It is also fair to make comparative observations, such as noting that Drake May or other contemporary rookies are currently displaying superior accuracy. This is a legitimate, identifiable weakness in Williams' present game. This leads to a broader philosophical point about quarterback evaluation, one I frequently emphasize: the symbiotic relationship between a quarterback and his coaching. I am often the commentator stressing the paramount importance of coaching, asserting that Patrick Mahomes would not be the Patrick Mahomes without Andy Reid. This is sometimes misinterpreted as me claiming Mahomes would be trash without Reid, which is a distortion. I believe a talent of that magnitude would find success elsewhere, but his specific historic trajectory is inextricably linked to that coaching partnership. Applying this to Chicago, the way Caleb Williams is playing right now, if you removed Ben Johnson and replaced him with an average or mediocre offensive mind, this team would be in serious jeopardy. This current iteration of the Bears is, without a shadow of a doubt, a Ben Johnson production. The evidence is the head coach's own words. Once the quarterback can begin to shoulder more of the offensive burden consistently, not just in sporadic, highlight reel scrambles or impressive throws, but in the methodical, drive-sustaining execution of the offense, week after week, that is the moment the team can truly springboard into sustained greatness. Presently, Williams cannot provide that consistency. Consider the gravity of Johnson's statement: "We're winning in spite of our passing game." The primary function of a quarterback is to facilitate the passing attack. If the head coach openly states the team is succeeding despite that facet of the game, it is an incredibly potent and revealing commentary on the quarterback's current contribution. This was not an offhand remark. It was a considered observation. It is a point worthy of serious consideration and discussion. We can all survive this analysis. The sky is not falling. Acknowledging a young quarterback's current limitations while believing in his long-term development is not only possible, but necessary for honest discourse. It will be okay, I promise. But these are simply my personal reflections and interpretations of the current situation. I would absolutely be delighted to hear your own. What are your thoughts on the Chicago Bears, Ben Johnson's coaching, Caleb Williams' development, and the team's currently inconsistent, or, as their coach framed it, supplementary, passing game? Please share your viewpoints in the comment section below. I read every single comment that is posted, so whether you are in full agreement with me or you fundamentally disagree, I want to hear from you. Let's ignite some engaging discussions. Let's engage in some spirited debates. But ultimately, let's simply enjoy the experience and have a great time. Please do consider subscribing to the channel. We are in the process of cultivating a truly wonderful community here, and I would absolutely be thrilled to have you as a part of it. My goal is to build something that we all feel a genuine connection to, something that we are truly enthusiastic and proud to be involved with, and I believe we are making significant progress toward achieving that objective. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it genuinely and substantially assists with visibility within the platform's algorithm. Thank you so very much for your time and engagement. I'll see you next time.